Welcome to another Maid Training Academy video. Maid Training Academy provides online classes to become a certified professional cleaner for as little as $100. As a certified professional cleaner, you will learn how to deal with hundreds of different conditions, situations, and ways to clean a home. Watching these videos is not a substitute for certification because they only show a few conditions and situations. For more information about course topics and enrollment, visit maidtrainingacademy.com. And please help us by clicking the like button below and subscribing. This video is focusing on bathroom countertops only. This bathroom countertop is pretty common with what we run into in smaller bathrooms, but it still can be representative of any bathroom counter that has most of the countertop covered with toiletries, perfumes, and general knickknacks. And so the question is really how do you tackle this so it ends up looking perfect and beautiful. And so this video is going to go through that. Now, because we're focusing only on the counter, we're going to fast forward through the first stages that get us to the counter, which includes the mirror, folding the towels, and working your way down to the counters. So you'll see here on the counter that on the right-hand side you have things kind of just here, there, and everywhere. If you look a little bit toward the left of the counter, you'll see that things are kind of close to the sink. Things are a little bit turned out of the way. This is not a bad counter at all, but it is busy, and you do have to manage it based upon the limited space you have left over on the counter itself. So let's go and get started. So the first thing we have to do is we have to work left to right, moving everything off the left-hand side to clear a space, ideally of about 3 feet. You don't have quite 3 feet here, so she's going to clear space all the way over to the sink. And you got to be careful because you can easily, just like she did right there, knock things off the counter. So you really want to avoid going to the floor, but sometimes you have to since there's no more space, like she did with that tissue box cover. And you can see the entire space is clear and open now. You can't do it one at a time. You can't move it to the front and clean over the top. Clear an entire section from front to back and then clean it. So now she's pre-treating the countertop and the sink area. The sink area she's using also a little bit of a degreaser since there seems to be more buildup in that area. And the next she's going to grab her sponge. That's kind of a golden rule, is that you have to use a sponge on all counters, whether it's a first-time job like this one or a recurring customer. But you have to use that sponge to get all of the sticky stuff off that you really can't see very well. And that includes the backsplash, as you saw her do, including the top of that backsplash. And as she's going along, you'll see that she's using her hand to feel as well too. So now she's working on the faucets and going all around where the faucets and the controllers meet the sink itself. She's going completely around that. And you do have to go over a lot of the sink a couple times just to get everything off because stuff will stick to that. And she has that water running because she's going to be bringing the water up on top to help to rinse that countertop off. And so she's rinsing out her sponge to get some of that solution out of it so she can help also rinse. So now she's going to go ahead, now that the countertop is clean and the sink is clean, she's going to go ahead and focus a little more attention on where everything meets. And so she's using her tile brush to get out at those seams. It's a judgment call. You also have a toothbrush. If it looks like it doesn't need, the stiffer brush of a towel brush, but you really do have to do a great job where everything connects. Now she's going to use a dry rag to go ahead and wipe everything clean. So a sponge is only used to loosen items. And of course, if you splash things back up on that mirror that she'd cleaned previously, clean it while you're there. And then she's going to wipe down and shine all the faucet, including the handles. And to make that shine is not an option, it's a requirement. And you can see she can feel, and she's using her fingernail, look at that, to get that little sticky part off. There's a lot of touching and feeling when you're cleaning. Look at the tip of the faucet, how she did this. There are so many little things that this video is covering that, this is where your classes and your certification line items out all these little things. It's almost hard to keep up. And you'll see that when she's drying this out, she's also shaking her rag to get anything that's stuck or loose on there off and fall to the floor where we clean it later. And she definitely wants to get it dry, and she's not quite satisfied with how that looked over there. So again, you'll see she's kind of prepped on the outside of her door so she can grab everything that she needs. And then as she puts things back in an orderly fashion, she's going to hand wipe and clean every one of those items, including that mirror on both sides of the mirror, even though it looks like there's a kind of a manufacturer's label on there. And then she's putting it back in some way. Now, when you are cleaning and putting things back, you're wiping everything top to bottom completely like she did there. And you can see how hard she's holding that. So it's not going to fall. A lot of accidents happen when you're doing a bathroom because it's slippery and things like that. But you can see as she's replacing everything, she is wiping them down. Which items? The answer is all of them, top to bottom. And that's where you can also use your sink if need be to help with cleaning it if you have something that's stuck on there. And then she's putting everything back in a neat and orderly fashion with all the labels facing out. That is so important. So that has really nothing to do with how you clean, but that's how it looks when you're done, which is so important to keeping a customer happy. And we'll do some before and after photos to see here. So again, if she's dripping anything over there, she's going to go ahead and wipe it up as she's doing it. And so now what she's doing is, again, she's spraying into her hand so she's not overspraying and getting the counter wet again. And with each item, she's carefully placing it back where it looks nice and it's got good spacing. And again, the bottom is just as important, if not more, than the top. And you'll see she's kind of making sure everything is concise. And she's kind of taking some of the stuff that was on the right-hand side and moving it to the left. So there is some balance to how that looked. Now she is going to go to the floor on these items. It is dangerous because that's where accidents can happen. You can easily step on stuff, trip over stuff. But in lieu of bringing something that's already dirty back over onto a clean area, she really has no choice but to move it to the floor. Look how easy that would be if she just took one step to the right and stepped on that glass, that mirror tray. It'd snap in a wink of an eye. So once again, she's going to use her sponge to go over all over the counter, including that backsplash. And see how she's pulling things away? And she's getting it off and letting it fall to the ground. Well, you'll get it later when you do the floors. And while she's there, you can't see, but that's a light switch. She's wiping that down. So again, after you use your sponge, you're going to come back with your clean rag and you're going to wipe it clean. And she's doing a great job with that. Shaking the rag, you just do it all the time. And you see, you're not just going through the motions, you're looking to see if it's clean. So when she was using that dry rag, it kind of got stuck there, kind of snagged on there. That's when she knew she had to get that sponge and get the sponge up there to get that last little bit of sticky stuff. And especially on this side of the bath, of the counter, you notice that that's where most of the toiletries were. So again, as she's replacing everything, she is wiping it down top to bottom. Each item carefully. A lot of glass, a lot of stuff that will easily break if you just drop it just a few inches. So you have to be very careful at how you hold things. And when you're putting things back, you're also putting them back with the label out. So you'll see that one right there. She makes a little bit of a mistake there. She didn't put the label out because she has a lot of things down there that she's going to bring back up. But what happens is once you place something down, it's easy to forget to come back to that, which you'll notice at the very end. She didn't come back to this and put that label forward, as she does with everything up to that point and everything after. So now she's getting everything off that mirrored tray, using a little bit of glass cleaner to go ahead and get that to be just as clean and crystal clear as the mirror should be. No smudges. She's not just wiping it, she's really getting it clean. And you can see she's holding it carefully with that left hand and really getting it to look perfect and completely clean before she puts everything on there. She's using her thumb, see that? Where something was stuck on there. So it's not about getting things cleaner, it's about getting it clean, which you can see here. Once she has it back on there, she can actually look at it from a different angle and see any type of smudges that are on there and get them completely off. So once again, she's spraying her rag with the glass cleaner, and as she replaces all these items, she's wiping them down top to bottom with the labels out. Now again, you can see as she's putting all these back, how it does stand out a little bit. That one she put down originally, where the label's not facing out, kind of stands out just a little bit. But overall, she's doing a great job. But you can see, look at the pace she's working at. She's really going quickly. You see in that perfume bottle, she actually, focused on the nozzle area because that's where the sticky stuff can be. But she's wiping everything down top to bottom. So a lot of rookies will ask, hey, so what do we clean? The answer is everything. And as she's staging about, look how nice and balanced it is. And then she's putting down those last 3 items, and look how nice that looks. It's not just on there, it's nice and balanced, and she really didn't have to go back and readdress it because as she put it back, it was nice and balanced. Now, this is how it looked before. See on the right-hand side, that blue bottle's there, the hairbrush, which you put in the basket. Left-hand side, that is a little bit twisted. Now look at it again. This is the finished product. Look how nice that looks. What a great job, and a very good time as well, too.